Well, howdy there, Internet. This is Steve of 1,000 Year Homes. Welcome aboard. So behind me is a project that got delayed because of a little bit of rain and cold and whatnot. But I've got cement in the back of a truck that I want to get rid of. So I'm going to move this to the front because it's, 80% of the way there. So it's a farm bell, and that's a 100-year-old ship's bell on there. Cedar that was logged from this area, my neighbor's place. And I've got block and tackle, a whole bunch of things. Since I'm a 1,000-year home, I'm trying to build a bell that looks like it's at least 100 years old to start with. How about that? 10% of the way there. So what am I going to do today? Well, I'm going to get out my stain, and I'm going to stain that post so that it feels a little more protected. Now that's cedar. It'll last a long time, except the outside of it, the sapwood, that rots, right? Bugs get under it. Now it's been debarked. Leah helped me do that. So I'm going to stain it all, and then I'm going to set up the oxen yoke that's on top of it and get that carved in and rounded out and bolted down, and get the bell on, and then haul it all up and put it in the ground. Once it cures, I'll put the pulleys on it and the last minute, doodads and kudamans and, the black and tackle and all that good stuff. So once I do that, then I'm going to take it up and I'm going to dig a hole with the backhoe, and I'm going to go ahead and put this in the ground and make sure it's straight up and down. And I'll wait for that cement to cure, and then I'll go ahead and add the block and tackle for the ringer, as well as all the other accoutrement that will be needed, any bobbles and plaques, whatever I want to do to make this look a little more official. So without further ado, let me bring you up, and I'll go ahead and start staining this wood, and we'll see how that works out. Well, as a first step, I'm going to take this wood hardener, high performance wood hardener, and I'm going to put it on like the curves of the yoke, as well as splits, anything like that. Just give it a little more protection. So if I found some soft spots on the cedar, which I have not, I would put it on there as well. So anyway, once that's done, I'll do 3 or 4 coats of it. It converts the wood cellulose. It adds something to it and converts it to a harder material. I'm going to guess silicon. That's what would be my guess, but I'm not sure. Polymer or something like that. But I just want these things, I've shaken this real well. I just want these things to not fall apart with the rain. And they certainly will. And I'll go ahead and even that all out so that I don't have little spots. Not that anybody will be able to see them from below, but we'll see how much longer this gives to life to this. The end grain, I'm going to go ahead and do the end grain. Just anywhere where I think water can get in there and dissolve it up a little bit and make it weak. I see down here, and this is a weird spot too. Now I'm going to remove this hook first, so I'll wait to harden it until after I remove that hook out. And again, I don't see any weak spots. Yeah, I do. I got one down here on the cedar log. Now this will eventually, the sapwood will eventually rot out no matter what I do to it. But this will help. And there'll be a cedar core that will stay. So, this post can actually be in the ground for many, many years. Here's some that's kind of getting hardened. I don't even know if this needs it anymore, but I'll do it. I've got the preservative. I'll preserve it. Just guessing where it might be buried into the ground, maybe up to here. If I could dig the backhoe. So I'm going to treat that so that above and below ground it got a little treatment. Let that cure in there. After this all cures, I'll go ahead and stain it with some wood stain. Get it unified. These knots, I'm treating the knots. I missed this one. And then I need to do that. So let me knock that ring out now. I need to get this hook out, this yoke hook, so that I can put the bell in. Now I don't have to knock it all the way out, so I'm going to stop right there because the bell plate will go right along that bottom, and I'm happy. There we go. Alright, so now I'm just going to go ahead and put this penetrating stain on it. It's called gunstock. It has a little red in it. I think that will be nice. We'll find out. It says it's a varathane, but I'm hoping not because urethanes have a problem in UV. So I'm hoping it's just a stain, oil-based stain. It doesn't matter. This is just to unify it and give it all one look. I think that'll be nice. Also offer a little protection. I spilled a bunch of stain on the wooden pulley, but just going to use it to my advantage. Sure. This is, I'm using this to pull the ropes. I'm going to guess this old block and tackle is made out of mahogany or some kind of rainforest wood, right, that doesn't rot, I'm going to guess. Because they would have been left outside. There we go. All right. That looks nice, yeah. There was still a little bit of gray paint and primers and all kinds of colors still on here, but this ought to, well, give them a little commonality. Not that I think people will notice from the ground. But if every 10 years somebody stains this, I'm going to guess they'll get 100 years, maybe 200 out of it even. It's already 100 years old, so that's 30% of the way there. All right, now I'll go ahead and just stain it all the way down, rotate it, and call it a day. Again, this is just designed to keep this sapwood a little more preserved. I don't have to be real careful with this or anything. I'm using a junk brush. Also unify everything. This wood that's getting old, if I stain it, it gets rid of the gray and kind of gives it back a little bit of a red color. That's nice, right? That looks nice. I'm going to get my tractor, flip it over, do the other side, but I'll go ahead. I've got enough. I'm going to do the underside as well, so I'm going to go all the way down and do that. So let me finish up here and then go get my tractor. Well, that's fun, isn't it? Got it all stained. Looks nice, actually. Looks really nice. For an outdoor bell tower, I think we're almost there. I'm going to let it cure for a little bit, and then I'm going to come carve these out to fit the curvature of the yoke there. Bolt it all together, work on the bell, get it anchored. I'm not going to put on the block and tackle yet because I have to make sure I know the height. So I'm going to wait for that project. And then the clacker I have to cut and make while I'm installing it, because the yoke will be right here and I won't be able to mount the clacker otherwise. And then I'll have to figure out a way to make it ring, which I haven't done yet. But I'll do something, that's for sure. I've got enough stain left. If I find little spots and holidays, I can go ahead and fix them up. But this looks nice. I'm happy. I'm happy with that preserved. I'm happy with this stained one uniform tone. And I think that'll go together real well. All right, I'm going to give it an hour or two to dry. All right, I'm going to shift over to a new spot. Right here is my next step. I need to rebuild the ship's bell. If you notice, it's missing a clacker. Then I need to mount it to the yoke. And so I've got a few things here. I've got a lathe handle that I'm going to use for the clacker. I'm going to cut that off right there. I'm going to turn this so that I can screw it in both places here and then run a chain from one end to the other. That should anchor it in place and keep it there. And then I'm going to use these bits of chain so that I can pull the clacker and ring the bell, as well as suspend the clacker. So that's the project. Let me go ahead and get busy. Alright, here I am almost at final assembly. I'm going to take ratchet straps and strap the yoke down to the post. Then I'm going to go ahead and bolt it on, and then I'm going to leave it strapped and bolted and drive it up and stick it in the ground. So I want it nice and tight as I drive so that it doesn't break off. That's probably 150 pounds now. 100 pounds at least. This is all brass right here. And that's yoke and chain, strap, all kinds of stuff. Alrighty, let's do it. After pulling it tight, it's okay on this log. I've got it carved out just right, but here I'm missing on the back side. So I've got to unstrap that real quick, spread it apart, get my chainsaw, and make the front match the back so that I've got this closed up. All right, let's see if I can hog that out without getting hurt or touching my chainsaw to that metal. Maybe. Oh, much better. Much better. Just need a little bit more. All right, that's a much better fit. There we go. I'll get that all tightened up now. Let me put some stain back on the spot that I removed. All right, back to assembly. I think I've got that shaved. I've got it stained. Let's go ahead and put this all together. Got it all fixed up. I like it. I like it bolted down. I liked it strapped. I've got to drive about 1/4 of a mile and dig a hole and stick it in the ground. I think I'll get there. This seems to be pretty one piece. So that's what my next step is. I'd hate to crack it. That's what I'm worried about. All right, so I got it safely installed. That completes the restoration. That's quite a little bell. So got safely up here. It looks pretty good. I'm real happy with it. I've got some other things to finish up, like the pulleys to make it ring and whatnot, but really happy with this particular restoration. It's fully functional. I'm 20 feet up off the ground, standing on a ladder right now. So there'll be another video on how to put a pillar in the ground. That's 1,400 pounds. This was 1,400 pounds, and I did it all by myself. But anyway, the restoration of the bell, all done. It looks great. Good way to put something back to use that's 100 years old. May it last another couple of hundred.